Hello everyone. So with this video, I'm going to show you how to create your first email, and I'm going to show you how to do this in a couple of different ways. It will be your choice how you do it. And then I'm going to show you how you do your second one, because it is much easier and quicker because you'll have everything set up and your logo in and all of that. So let's get started by logging in. Now I just want to point out quickly that if you are on a smaller device, your screen will not look like mine looks. So right now you can see I have campaigns, templates, list, all of that at the top. It's spread wide, but that's because I'm on a laptop with a wide screen. If you have a smaller device, it's going to look different. It will look more like this, where you've got your menu options over here, and if you click on that, it'll take you to that page. But I'm going to do it on the wide view. So I just wanted to let you know, in case you're on a smaller device and you log in and you don't see this on your screen. Okay, so we're going to start by clicking this button over here, Create Campaign. And I'm assuming you've watched part one, where you've set up a list and you've imported your contacts and you've set up your sign up form. So that's part one. If you didn't see that and you're lost at this point, go back and watch part one. There are a number of options here that you'll see. We're just going to stick with this regular campaign here at the top. We're going to click that. And there's a process where we have to get your logo in and do a little bit of formatting of your very first newsletter. But going forward, you simply copy what you've sent out previously and then replace the information within the email. So really this first one takes a little bit longer, not that much longer, but we have to get things set up. And you'll notice that once I clicked Create Campaign, and I'll remind you that campaign is just another word for email in MailChimp, it wants to know which list you want to send to. Now, if you created your newsletter list the way we walk through in the first video tutorial, then you'll click that. I have several lists here that say newsletter because this is my testing account. And I don't really want to send it out to anybody, but my list is a testing list. So you can save to an entire list. There are other options here. We haven't created any video tutorials about creating a segment or sending to a segment, but MailChimp has those tutorials that you can watch that teaches you how to do more advanced stuff. So once you check the list that you're going to send it to, you come down here in the bottom right hand corner and you just click Next. And then you're going to give this campaign or this newsletter that you're sending out some information. And you'll see here, it tells you who's going to see this. This is for internal use only. And a couple of tips here is that this will go in your list, so don't make it a super long name. Otherwise, you won't be able to necessarily see the whole thing in your list, and you might have to click around to get to see the full names of your campaign. So I would recommend something like April 2015 newsletter. Your email subject, your recipients will see this, so you could do something like the best health newsletter. And I always recommend that you put the month and the year in there, because people going back to search for your newsletters in their email will be able to quickly find it that way. And then you want to put who it's from. Your clinic name is great, or your practitioner, the name that you're using for practice, and the email address. Over here on the right side, you'll see conversions to manage replies, but this is for paid accounts only. Personalize the to field. That's up to you if you want to do that. I usually customize that. And then down here under tracking, you definitely want to track opens. For a free account, you have to track clicks and plain text clicks. That's not an option. If you have a paid account, you can uncheck those if you want. If you use Google Analytics, you can click Google Analytics link tracking. Just all sorts of things that you can do in here, and your web person, or if you work with a marketing person or your business coach, they can help you decide which of these you want to check or uncheck, as well as the advanced video trainings that MailChimp does. Then here's where you can connect to your social media so that you don't have to go in and manually paste this in or put links to it. You can tweet it out. You just have to connect to Twitter. You can auto post to Facebook, but you'll have to connect to Facebook first. And that will have everything set up about the basic campaign info, and so you can just go next. And you'll see that there was untitled up here before, but now it's been titled. So now it's going to ask you to select a template. And there's a lot of different things that we could do here. I just want to orient you to the screen. So basic is really a style, right? It doesn't have pictures, and it doesn't necessarily have any color themes or anything like that. It's how do you want your newsletter to look to people? Do you want it to be one column? Do you want it to have one column at the top and two columns at the bottom? This is completely up to you what you want to do with it. I'm going to show you, I'm going to use the first one at the top up here, which is one column drag and drop. But you can choose any of these, you can play around with them, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. You could also choose simple text for what I'm getting ready to do, and there'll be a little bit less deleting of things, but I really like this one right here, and so I'm going to hit select to do this. Before I do that, I'll just show you here themes. This is the difference, right? The basic didn't have any of these images and pictures and coloring. A very nice one I think that is great is this nature. I like the colors. It's a very nice layout, easy on the eye. They do have a number of things in here that you can look through and you can choose. So that's themes. If you've created a template, you could choose Save Templates, and if you pay Aweber to create a template for you, they would put it in Save Templates. And you can also click Code Your Own. But for now, let's go to Basic. We're going to select this one column drag and drop. And it's going to open in an editing window. And I'll just orient you to this. So over here on the left is where you're going to click in different areas to do different things. On the right, once you click over here on the left, then you actually do your work over here on the right, you'll see. So for right now, we've got three options up here. Content, and these are the different things that you can add into your newsletter, different sections like a button, a footer, an image group if you have, a grouping of images. So different things that you can do there. Design, if you click on that, you come to page, it will let you do different things like set the background color. So it shows you right here this gray, and that's this background here. And I'll just show you what happens when you click in here. It brings up a color grid, and if you've got a code of colors on your website or colors that go with your logo, you certainly could do some matching now by changing this. If you don't have the code, you can also navigate to your website, and there's a very cool little site that will analyze your website and tell you what colors are there, and I'm going to show you that. So one of the best sites to do this at is colorcombos.com, and you just come over here, you can put the URL of your website in, which I've already done. You click get, and it's going to display a palette of colors for you. And some websites come back, there's a lot of color, some have a small color palette, and you might have to just scroll through until you find the one that matches what you're looking for on your site. So I'm going to pick this one over here, this sort of blue color. And I'm going to copy this code that's in the box. So I'll highlight it, I'll right click, and I'm going to copy. Then I'm going to go back over to Campaign Builder, and up here in the box, I'm going to delete those last 6 digits after the number sign or pound sign, because you have to leave that in there. And then I'm going to paste in those colors that I just copied, and now you'll see the background of the email will change. You can just hit enter and get out of that, and now we've got a blue background. And so I'll just click out of that box. If you want a border at the top, you can put a border. There's a lot of things that you can do in here. Here's how you change your text color. So we could make that all black if we wanted to. That's completely up to you. I happen to know what black is, but you could certainly pick it off of the palette down here. I'll click out of that box. You can change the size of your font, things like that. So that's what you do in here. When you're done with your page design, you hit save. These other items in here are just different parts of the email. So your pre-header is up here at the top. Your header, your body, the body of the email is in here. Your footer, mobile styles, monkey rewards is something that is for an affiliate program with MailChimp. So once you have gotten this basic stuff chosen, now we can start working on content. And the first thing I'm going to do is click up here. I'm going to hover over this area, and I'm going to click this little pen, which is edit. And remember, a lot of what I'm getting ready to show you, you only have to do this one time, because then you're going to copy it going forward, which I'll show you. So I clicked on edit, and you'll notice that over here on the right, a box opened up, and this is where I can change the content. I'm just going to delete this out. Because we want to view this email in your browser, because people who are having a hard time opening an email need to have that link, and I'm sure you've seen that in other emails that you've gotten. So I'm just going to delete that, hit save and close, and now my top bar is fine. Now here's where I want to put an image, right? My header for my newsletter, my clinic logo. There's a lot of things that you can do here, but you start by hovering over it and clicking the edit pen, and it's going to open up a box over here where you can bring in your own header or image. So I'm going to click here to upload an image. I'm going to click browse. And you can do a couple of different things. You can use any image that's already in here that you've uploaded previously. You can bring it in from a URL. I'm going to click upload so that I can show you how to do this from upload. So I've selected the newsletter for one of our docs, and I do have permission to use that. Thank you, Dr. Forbes. And I simply uploaded it, brought it in, and now it's popped it over here on the side. And once you're done bringing in that header, you hit save and close. And now we want to design the email. And there are a number of things that you can do at this point. I'm going to show you both ways. So you can put in text, you can put in box text, you can edit what's here. So this top part could be where you put in like your announcements or your message to your patients. So I'm just going to click in here, and I'm going to do some typing, and I'm going to pause it while I do that and be right back. Okay, so I've grabbed some text from one of my old newsletters, December 2014, and I basically just pasted it in that box. And there it is on the left. You can see it. I've got all sorts of stuff in here, right? I have a form right here where they can fill out and show their interest in an herbal medicine class I'm teaching. We renew our annual wellness plans at the end of the year, so I put that in there. But everything, I just pasted it right in here. You can just type it in. If you want to make that date of the newsletter bigger, you can just highlight it and come up here, and you can change it. And as you change it here, you'll see that change over there on the left. If you have some sales or some coupons or things that you want to add in there, we can do that too. Always remember to save and close. And perhaps you want to do a box text. Let me show you how that works. You just pick it up, hover over it, pick it up, and drag it over here, and it will show you where it's dragging it to. And you drop it. And now here, this is a blocks text, right? It's got a nice border around it. You hover over it, you click edit, it's going to bring it over here, and now you can put something in there like new patient special in April, 10% off all supplements with this coupon. If you're advertising in different places and you have coupons in different places, I think it's a great idea to name your coupons. And so I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to go NL for newsletter, -4 for April, -15 for 2015. And then I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to make it small because it doesn't need to be really big. And it identifies for me where this coupon came from. You can put an image in here. If you wanted to, you would just click where you want, you put your image, and then there's a little picture box up here so you can make it look pretty with something, whatever you want to do. I'm going to save and close that. So now it's time to get some content in there. And I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest way to do this so that you are just a few clicks away every month from getting your newsletter out. And all you really have to do is change this top information, right? And any coupon that you want to change. So I'm going to first put a divider in. And I'm just going to click on it, bring it up, and drop it right there. And that sort of divides my top information and announcements from the rest of the newsletter. And this is fine. I don't necessarily want it any bigger. You could make it bigger if you wanted to. Right now, I'm just going to hit save and close. And now I'm going to hover here. I'm in content still. I'm going to pick up text. And I'm going to bring this text right over here under the divider, and I'm going to drop it there. And now while you're on this screen, well, first let's delete this out because we don't need that. And then you're going to see these two little, greater than, less than signals. This is going to allow you to paste the code. And you received this code as a file in your newsletter. So I'm going to click on that. And it's going to now have this little screen right here, which allows me to paste in code. Now, what code am I going to paste in? Well, you want to navigate to that file that you were sent in the Medicine Talk Pro patient newsletter files, April 2015 or whatever month you are working on. And you want to open up that file that says HTML code. And you will, it is code, is all it is. And you just simply want to go to Edit, select All, which is also Control A on your keyboard, or Command A if you're in Mac. And then it's selected all of that code, and then you go to Copy. Go back over to MailChimp and right-click in the box and hit Paste. And it's going to paste in the newsletter. Now, once you've got it pasted in, you just hit Save and Close, or you can click these little things and it'll bring get rid of the code and give you what's called a graphic display. Now, if you want to see what it looks like, you just come over here and you can scroll down. Sometimes in the editor on the right, the format looks a little bit different than what the display is over here on the left. So don't make your changes over here on the right and make it look like you want it to look on the right. Make sure it looks like what you want it to look like on the left. Now, the other thing that you can do to see what it looks like is you can come up here to preview and test. and you just click that drop down and it says enter preview mode. So I'm going to do that. And now what it's showing you is what it looks like on different devices, right? And so over here it would be email, and you can see what we pasted in is there, our little divider. Here's the newsletter. Now, the pictures don't show up here. That's okay. They do show up when the email is sent. And it also shows up when you're not in preview mode. And you can see that all of the information is there. It looks pretty good. You don't have to, change the sizing or anything like that in it. But there are some things that we're going to want to take out, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So I'm going to click on this little X. I'm going to close preview mode, and I'm going to go over here now. We designed the newsletter so that you could actually just put your announcements and everything right in here in this box. I had you in this demonstration create a box up here where you put your announcements. It is up to you. If you want to use this space that's right here within the newsletter, it's very easy to do that. Or you can just leave the newsletter like it is and send it out like this with a little bit of customizing down here. I'm going to make a suggestion for you. Let me find an article. Okay, so I found a spot where I can talk to you specifically about changing something within the article itself. Here under this article, probiotics, and most of our articles that deal with supplements and herbs and therapies have this sentence where it says, check with your doctor or holistic health practitioner to be sure you select a product that meets your personal health needs. So I want to change this. I want to customize it a little bit so it's more talking about me as their doctor. So I'm going to scroll down here on the right, probiotics, until I get to that section. And I'm going to change this to say, check with Dr. Camp on your next visit to be sure we choose a product that meets your personal health needs. I would likely add something in like our favorite is whatever your favorite, right? Probiotic is from whatever company. And I might even say it's on sale this month, or we have it in stock, or whatever. We have this in stock. Exclamation point, period. So as they're reading, they can, your patient or your client can identify with this being you. And you would just do that with anything that in the articles that you want to change, right? So here is Triphala, which is a great colon tonifying herb. And it says, before starting any substance or formula, discuss the best strategy. So again, I would come in here and I would say, as always, addressing the root cause of improper elimination is first and foremost. So if you're interested in this, let's talk about it at your next appointment or something like that. Okay, so I mentioned that we might want to do just a little bit of changing here. And if you're going to be doing it this way, you probably don't need to have the date both here and at the top, right where we had it up here, December 2014. So you could take it out of this box right here, and you just click in that box on the right, and we can just delete that out. And now we don't have the date in two places. And I'm going to remove this space here. Sometimes you have to just do a little bit of fiddling with this until you get it exactly how you want it. I'm not so sure that I want this to be so large, so you can hover over it and you can change the size, and maybe I'll make that 18 instead of 24. It's what you prefer, what you like. And if you do that, then I would go through all of the article and see here there's a space here. So I'm going to come down and I'm just going to delete that up like that. And I'm going to make all my titles that same size. Now, why do you have to do that? Well, because depending on which service you use, MailChimp, Constant Contact, iContact, they have some particulars in their program that will slightly change what we've coded to be something that's more particular to their system. And so these are probably headings. In fact, I'm sure they're headings. And so MailChimp's default headings are likely larger than the headings that we coded in. We probably did heading 2 or something like that. Not to overwhelm you with those details, but just trying to show you that you have a lot of control over how this is customized. And I know you probably don't want to watch me do this. I'm just trying to show you that you want to make sure that you send out a newsletter that looks consistent and is not going out with different size headings for the different articles and stuff. And that's really it. What will show up here at the bottom, the very bottom of your newsletter, is your unsubscribe information. And that's important so that people have an ability to say, no, you know, I really don't want to be part of that anymore. Okay, so that's it, right? It's quick, it's easy, it's exactly customized to your clinic. You've had an opportunity to put everything in there you want. And I'll just remind you one more time, you don't have to add this box up here like we did. You could have just pasted all of that information in here in the What's New box. And so I want to show you what that would look like. So I'm going to click in this box and I'm going to take just this information right here, and I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to close that box and I'm going to delete this out. Okay, now it's deleted it. I need to come back in here. You won't have to do this, but I'm going to type the edition, April 2015. Okay. And now that text that I copied, I'm going to, although I think this is a great definition of the World Health Organization, and I could leave that there, that's fine. I'm going to actually highlight this just so I can show you that you can absolutely, right, have your own message in that box, and it will expand to hold all of your information. And then the article starts. And I think we had a divider right here that we don't need, so I can delete that divider. And now it moved my newsletter up. Okay, however you decide to do it, those were just some ideas. Now that I've got it the way I want it, and the nice thing is you don't have to do any editing of this. We pay an editor to make sure that this is ready to go out. We might want to make sure that you've got your social buttons in there. So I'm going to actually put the social share buttons, right? I'm going to pick this up, and again, you only have to do some of this stuff once. Next month you won't have to do it again. So I'm dropping the block in there. And I want to format it a little bit. So I'm going to come over here. I want to add Google Plus to that. And I'm going to click on Style. And that background is fine. But I wonder if it keeps my recently used colors. It looks like it does not. So you'd have to grab colors if you wanted to change the background of the box, but you could do that. settings. This is what I want. I want the layout. So I've got the ability to move these social share buttons around and make them look different. So I'd actually like these in the center. So I'm just going to click Align Center. And I do want them side by side. I don't want them in a big list. I like this color here, but if you're more of a sort of a, don't want all those colors there, you could change that. I'm just going to hit save and close. So I've got my social media in there. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to come down here to next. And it's going to say you're all set to send, right? So it tells you what list you've chosen, what the subject line is, where the replies are coming to, what tracking you've chosen, all of that stuff. Once it's done, you can either come to send or you can come to schedule. So I know there's times when I've got a big chunk of time and I could set up 4 or 5 newsletters, and then I could just schedule those to go out at different times. Other times I sit down and I'm just ready to send. So you would hit send. It says you're about to send now. It's putting my email, high five, your campaign is done. You can track it. You can share it with this URL. So if you didn't want to, or if you've got some type of social media or a platform where you share URLs, you could do that. Now, I promised you I was going to show you how to repeat this next month. So I'm going to come back to campaigns on the top. And it tells you here, April 2015, it started sending on Wednesday, April 1st. I'm going to pause this and I'll be back as soon as it's sent so that I can show you what you would do in month 2 and going forward. Okay, so it has gone out and now it says sent. Before then it was sending, right? So we couldn't really do anything with it. Now what we want to do is I want to show you from starting over how you're going to do month 2. So I've logged out. So next month you're going to come in, you're going to log in, and you are just simply going to come up here to campaigns on your dashboard right next to the monkey. And you want to go to the last newsletter that you sent out, right? Which was, in essence, for those of you who are brand new, your first one. You find it in the list, you come right over here to this drop down arrow and you choose replicate. It's going to open up a box that looks just like you did the first time, although it'll have options checked because it's replicating what you did before, so we can quickly just go through. Now, you want to change this name your campaign box. This is important. You don't want to have a bunch of April 2015 newsletter, copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, so I'm going to call this May 2015. You change your subject to whatever month it is you're working on. Nothing else needs to change. Everything else is the same, so you just click next. That's going to take you to the editing screen. Now, what you should notice is that you no longer have to do from month 2 going forward all that stuff that I just taught you, right? Your header's there, your social media is there, everything, your coupon may be there, right? And you, of course, can change it if you want to change it. That's up to you. So what do we do to quickly get this information changed? All you need to do is decide, I'm going to click here in this box, so it'll open my editing box on the right. I can change my information that's in, if you had that box, right, the one I deleted, if you have that information box, you would click in that and you would change your information. Before you start typing and changing information in the central part, because this was all pasted in by code, if you remember from the beginning, we're going to first change the code. And then you can come in and you can change your information in this box. So I'm going to go open that file. And I'm using the code from the previous month just to show you this. So again, I'm going to edit, select all, or Control A or Command A. I'm going to copy, Control C, Command C. Now I'm done with that file. I'm going to be over here in the right screen and I'm going to click this greater than less than symbol. I'm going to highlight everything in this box. I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Control A and I'm going to delete. So there should be nothing in there now. And I'm going to paste in that code now. I've grabbed it from there. So just paste it in. And then I'm going to hit save and close. And you can see here that everything is now in there from the new edition that you got. Here's when I would say you could type in all of your announcements right here in this box if you choose to do it this way. So again, your choice. You can have that extra text box at the top where you do your comments and then paste in the newsletter into that second box, or you can just keep this format and get your notes put in here and pretty much put whatever you want in there. You can put links in there. Very easy to do. Save and close. Next. And you're all set to send. So much, much faster months 2 and going forward, right? After you've got your first one set up. So that's it. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll do our best to help you. I hope you have a wonderful day.